GuitarLessons.com, the #1 name in guitar lessons online.
Hey, in this lesson we're going to be learning the song "The Memory Remains" by Metallica. We're going to be learning the rhythm parts to this song. And we're going to divide it up into two sections, the main riff for the verse and the main riff for the chorus. And one thing you need to know about this song before we get started learning the actual riffs is it's down tuned to E flat. So instead of tuning your guitar like you normally would to E, A, D, G, B, and E, you're going to flat all those notes. So it'll be E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and another E flat on top. Okay, so let's get started with the first riff. You're going to need to know your power chords pretty well to play this first riff right here. Okay, so the very first note you're going to be playing is this right here. Put a D power chord on the 5th fret with your index finger. Play that power chord, and then slide that up to an E power chord with your index finger on the 7th fret of your A string. Once you have those two chords played, you're going to come down to it'll be E flat this time, but your low E string, and hit that one twice with some nice palm muting. So hit it twice. And that whole phrase by itself is this right here. So, once you get that under your fingers, you're going to play another E power chord to finish off the little bit of the riff. And all we're going to do is repeat this phrase 3 times for the intro, and you're going to come back and grab an F bar chord on the 1st fret after that. And then mute it as soon as you play it. So let me play the whole phrase for you, and we'll go on from there. That's the whole little intro for, I guess you would call it, the chorus riff. Now, you're going to have, for the verses, you're going to have a riff that has 3 different variations. The first half of each riff is exactly the same, so that's pretty easy. You get to cheat a little bit there and kind of double dip on those licks. So let's learn the first little part, the first half of each variation. The first notes you're going to play is on your low E string. You're going to hit your low E string twice, open with no muting. Once you get that done, you're going to come up to your 5th fret with your index finger, play that note. You're going to hammer on to the 7th fret with your 3rd finger. So, once you have that much done, you're going to have a little bit of the same kind of a thing. You're going to go play your 5th fret again with your index finger, hammer on again, but after the hammer on this time, you're going to pick the note, that E right there, you're going to pick it after you hammer onto it. So you have this. Okay, that's the first part of each of the 3 variations of this riff. So every time you have a riff like this that starts on a verse, that's going to be your first half of it. Okay, now we're going to learn the second half of the first variation. So I'll play it for you, then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, you're going to play the first half of the riff. Then you're going to come up to your D string on the 5th fret, grab that with your index finger. Then you're going to get the 7th fret on your D string with your ring finger. Just pick that once. Then bend that same note on the 7th fret up a whole step. Let it back down. Hit the 5th fret with your index finger. And that'll complete the first variation on this kind of a verse riff. So let me play the whole thing for you, and then we'll go on to the second variation. Okay? So you're going to play, on the intro, you're actually going to play this 3 times, the same as the other riff we did, the very first riff. You're going to play it 3 times, and then you have a little tag at the end with some power chords, and I'll show you that right now. I'll play it 3 times, and then we'll go into the riff. So the little tag on the end of the riff, all it is you come get your G note on your 6th string with your index finger. Then you get the octave above that on your D string on the 5th fret. Probably want to use your pinky for this note. I'll show you why in a second. So you're going to hit the low G, the high G, right here on the D. Then you're going to come back to your 2nd fret on your A string with your index finger, hit that note, then come back up to this G on the D string on the 5th fret, hit that again. So let me show you those notes in sequence. Once you play those notes, you're going to come grab an E power chord on your 6th string open and your 5th string with your 1st finger on the 2nd fret. Just let that ring out. So the whole little riff, the little tag ending is this right here. So there's 2 more variations that we have to learn for what we would call the verse riff. And you already know the first half of each one, so the rest of it should be pretty easy for you. So let's start off by refreshing ourselves with that first half of the riff again. Okay, so if we have that, we're just going to add 2 more endings to that riff to have pretty much every riff in the song down. So here's the second half of the second variation. And that's it. Let me explain it to you, and then we'll put it together and see how it sounds. You're going to go to your 5th fret with your index finger, 7th fret with your 3rd finger on your D string, bend that string up a whole step, let it come back down, 5th fret with your index finger, and then you're going to bend up the 7th fret with your 3rd finger again, and just leave it up. So the whole riff with that variation is this right here. So let me show you the second half of the last variation of the verse riff. All you're going to do is grab the 5th fret with your index finger, then you grab the 7th fret with your 3rd finger on the same string, you're going to grab the 5th fret with your index finger on your A string, and that's it. So the whole thing together for the last variation of the verse sounds like this. That's it. So let me play an entire verse for you so you can see all these variations kind of strung together, okay? The last thing you need to know for this riff, for the entire verse, is the little harmonic that Kirk Hammett reaches up on the 3rd fret and grabs to kind of close out the whole riff. So you're just going to lay your finger on the 6th string on the 3rd fret, just barely touch the string and leave it on there. Don't press it all the way down to the fret. And you don't want it right on the fret for this particular harmonic. You want just behind it, because there's 2 different harmonics right there. Here's the one on the fret. Here's the one just behind it. So, when he finishes the riff, that's the harmonic you want to grab there. That's the one he's using right there. So, if you have this song, play along with it. Make sure to tune your guitar down to E flat. And if you don't have it, you might want to go grab it on iTunes or pick it up at the CD store, because it's a really cool tune to play along with and work on your bends and work on your power chords.